let's take a look at our top selections for Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 13 at Gulfstream Park on Fountain of Youth Saturday is the Grade 3, the very one stakes. Let's take a look at this field. Fillies and mares going 1 mile and 3/16. It's a big field. It's a really nice betting race, Mike. You can go so many different directions. You've got a European Invader, first time Chad Brown in the 6, California Queen. You've got the 3 Antoinette, who won the $500,000 Saratoga Oaks last year. And you've got a couple of up-and-comers as well.
True enough. I thought this was a pretty tough race. I thought a lot of different horses can win. To be honest with you, Dan, I don't even know who to call the horse to beat in here. So many different horses have a chance.
This is going to be a fascinating situation from a pace standpoint. We'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector. I understand why they've got Belle Laura out there on the lead. She's stretching out for the first time in a long time, and if she shows some of that miler speed, she might be able to get to the front. I just think Jose Ortiz has to be aggressive with Antoinette. Her best races have come when she's on the lead.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Antoinette, especially as they stretch out here, I feel like I think they'll probably try to make the lead with her, but we'll see how it all plays out.
Lovely Lovey, the number 1, ran recently in the Sunshine Filly and Mare Turf. It was a bunched up finish. She was beaten less than a length. She only earned an 80 Buyers speed figure, however, and this is a giant hike in class.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of the horses. I mean, it's a fairly wide open race, but she was one of the horses it was pretty tough to make a case for.
It's interesting that the connections are going to stretch out Belle Laura. She ran well last time out, going 1 mile in the Grade 3 Marshua's River. We'll watch that race right now. Zaffelli, the horse that defeated her, is very, very good and is going to run in the middle distance race, the Honey Fox, earlier on the card. I thought Belle Laura ran okay in this race, Mike. She ran on a little bit at the end. She's going to have to do better.
Yeah, I think she's going to have to do a lot better. And she does run fine in this race. To me, the Marshua's River was all about the winner and then not really about anybody else. Just going back through this filly's form, I mean, she's run a couple of races, I guess, that would give her a chance in here. But she's never really done it in races like this.
And she's going to have to stretch out. And while she has the pedigree to do so, we'll see if this is a bridge too far. Antoinette won the Saratoga Oaks against fellow 3-year-old fillies, then ran fine against a pretty nice one in Magic Attitude in the Belmont Oaks. And last time out in the Valley View, they cut her back to 1 mile and a 16th, and she just didn't fire. She's a filly that probably was in need of a break. I think she'll benefit from the layoff. First time against older horses.
Yeah, I guess all those things are true, Dan. Maybe in some ways she's the horse to beat in here just because, she does have those, the 2 turf races towards the end of last year that were pretty good. I mean, her Saratoga Oaks, I guess, was fine. She got absolutely loose on the lead that day, though. And then her Belmont Oaks, I mean, I know Magic Attitude's okay, but I don't know. This filly didn't run that great in there, getting loose on the lead again and taking no pressure at all. I mean, I think she's good. I just don't think she's that good.
I think the 4 Tuned has some ability. I have to admit, I'm starting to get a little bit tired of her act. Her last 2 starts, she just hasn't broke very well. Typical European runner. 2 back, she just dropped far back, dropped inside, angled out wide again. I thought she ran okay. Last time out, she broke slow. She came wide in the stretch, and the kick just wasn't there.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really care for her last race that much. And I don't even know how well I think she ran in the My Charmer either, Dan, because that was kind of a pace that was competitive and fell apart for the closers to get there. And I feel like she kind of took advantage a little bit in that race, more than anybody else in this field, too. It feels like she needs a pace to run at.
But she's going to get more distance for the first time in a long time. And maybe that's all she's been asking for. The 5 is Heavenly Curlin, who's raced twice on turf and hasn't run well in either race. The La Prevoyante last time out, going 1.5 miles off a little bit of a layoff. She was fine, always shopping. The winner of that race is in very sharp form. She seems to be at her best on the synthetic at Woodbine.
Yeah, so far that's what she is. She's a synthetic horse, and maybe just not a stakes horse. Maybe that's the right way to look at it. I don't know. They tried 1.5 miles last time, so I guess you could just say she doesn't want to go that far. But it's not like she did a ton of running in there.
Chad Brown trains both the 6 and the 7. California Queen is a group winner in Germany. Don't think the quality of competition in Germany is as good as it is in France and in England and in Ireland. And I wonder if this distance is actually a little bit short for California Queen. To me, she looks like a real long-winded type.
Yeah, that could be true. And the other thing about her, when you watch some of her races overseas, Dan, she doesn't have any speed at all. I mean, she's last in all of her races. The Group 3 two-back, I mean, went a mile and 7/8 that day, and she was, even at the back of the field that day while they're walking, like she just couldn't keep up. And, it's not like she has some kind of devastating stretch kick, at least over there.
It's possible that the 7 Bacchanalia has found the right field with a couple of layoff horses, and she is sharp right now and in form. Let's watch her optional claiming start at Gulfstream on January the 15th. She likes this course. She has good tactical speed. She sat just off the pace, and she sprints on home to win. She'll have to stretch out. I'm really not too concerned about the distance for her, and I think she's a sleeper at a price.
Yeah, I think she'll stretch out as well. My question about her is just, how good is she? And is she ever going to really, start to take a step forward? I guess maybe that race we just watched could be the one where you say it's a step in the right direction, Dan. But she got a perfect trip in there. Her other races to me are just okay. And there's tons of layoff lines, which makes you feel like, there's something wrong with this horse.
My last first kiss, the 8 is entered main track only. Let's move to the 9, Warlike Goddess. 2 for 2 for Bill Mott. She's coming off a little bit of a layoff. Warlike Goddess kicks hard in the stretch. She got a great ride from James Graham last time out at Churchill Downs, where, it was a 3-turn race. She had an outside post. Graham just dropped her to the back of the pack, saved ground most of the way. The rail opened up. She got a great closer's trip, but boy, she was moving at the end.
Yeah, she was. But I think your other point is probably the main one, or at least it was the main takeaway for me. I mean, she just got such a perfect trip in that race to win it. Listen, if she's going to be 10-1, like the morning line says, I'm not going to argue with her. She's 2 for 2. She's run pretty well both times, and it feels like she still has some upside.
Friends, it's time to jump on the 10 Sister Hanan's bandwagon, because I'm jumping off, and I'm a big fan of hers. Her last race, the La Prevoyante, I thought was a good effort for the first time that she stretched out. Maybe she just drifts off the 6-1. Maybe I'm just being swayed by the morning line, and maybe she and Warlike Goddess will sort of flip prices. She's an okay mare, and I still think she's improving.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, I was going to bring this up to you when the picks go up there, but I guess I'll just do it now since you already, talked about how you're off her this time. I don't understand why you're off her this time. You love this horse. She's really good. She's run well in basically all of her races. And I feel like you almost have to take her back out of the La Prevoyante last time. Corey Lanerie gave this horse no chance to win in that race, going 1.5 miles, no less. She gets a better ride in this race, a better trip. I think she's super dangerous.
I do think the 11 Dominguez interesting. Now, she's going to have to go a distance of ground off of a really long layoff. We haven't seen her since August at Indiana Grand, but I thought she did some good things for Brad Cox last year at 3. The regret was a race where Sean Bridgman could have went to the outside. He probably made the right move to stay in between horses. She was just in too tough against the likes of Harvey's Little Goyle. And last time out in the Indiana Grand, she finished ahead of a couple of next out winners. I like the fact that Cox is here. He could have run her at the fairgrounds against arguably weaker competition. He wants to run in a graded race.
I agree. And I also don't mind him stretching her out for this, Dan. I think that might actually work for this filly too. I've been following her for a while. I liked her, the start to her career. I think she ran really well, particularly in her first 2 starts last year where she ran well despite being very green still in both of those races. And she got super unlucky in the Tepin, I thought, when buried in traffic. Her last 2 races aren't my favorites, but I still feel like there's a lot of upside with this filly. She's another one that I want to use in this race.
Let's take a look at our top picks. That's where I went in the very one. I went with Dominga at a price. That's your second pick. You're going with Sister Hanan. I'm a big fan. You're going 10, 11, 6, and 9. I'm going 11, 7, 9, and 4. I think there is a chance for some price potential here.
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't really know how they're going to bet it. But I just kind of felt like some of the horses down towards the inside would be the favorites. And maybe the Chad Brown horses take some money. I don't know. It's kind of a wide open race. I like Sister Hanan. I don't like the ride she got last time or the trip she got. And I'm just going to stick with Dominga as well. I think she could still improve.
Nice betting race on a super Saturday afternoon card at Gulfstream. It's Fountain of Youth Saturday. Good luck.